Yeah, so we are going to be starting our class now very, very soon. So please and please, I want you guys to pay attention to this class. I decided to redo everything again because I so much believe that this little thing we are talking about is really going to like help a lot of people understand some things before we move further to other topics and other aspects, right? So please and please just do well to pay attention to this. And you guys, you can just try and get like pen and paper, right? And just try to jot down some necessary things I'm going to like talk about on the call. I'm going to talk about on the call.
Zico.
And make sure, please and please, once you join the call, try and mute yourself. As soon as you join the call, please and please try and mute yourself. Okay, guys, welcome to TWT Academy live Zoom calls, right? And if you are just joining our channel, welcome to our community, right? So I created this community for just one main objective, which is to help struggling traders grow. You understand? So if you are a struggling trader, I'm here to actually give in my support. I'm not going to be teaching you trading from scratch, but if you have some sort of knowledge about trading, what I'm going to do is I'm going to help you sharpen your skill. I'm going to support in any way I can. You understand? The main reason why I decided to come up with a community like this is because I was actually once a struggling trader like everybody in this channel, right? And I know what I actually passed through while trying to escape through all those hard times. It wasn't easy, right? So I just felt like the best way I can give back to people is like this. So you can't see me charging you a dime for providing you signals. You can't see me charging you a dime for anything. Only when you are actually reaching out to me for a one-on-one, insisted one-on-one mentorship, that is when I will now tell you, because for me to give you my time, you all know that for me to give you like my time, my complete time, right? Definitely, you know it's actually not going to be free, right? But if you want me to offer you any free signals, all the signals I'm giving you guys, all the signals I and my team, Sammy is here too. We're actually giving you guys and all the analysis, weekly analysis, all these the necessary calls. We are all doing it for free because we really want to see every one of you grow. So the best you can do for us is to always turn up on calls like this. Encourage your friends that are close to you to be on a call like this. Let's just find a way and help each other grow. You understand? This life is all about I take your hands, you take my hands, we take the next person's hands, and all of us we grow together. Like it doesn't cost you anything. You get it doesn't cost you anything to help the next person stay up because the sky is big enough for everyone to fly. You understand? So your success doesn't affect mine. And that's why I took it upon myself to drop every bit of knowledge I've acquired or I'm actually acquiring, because at the end of the day, learning never stops. So we keep pushing. So I want you guys to pay attention to this class, and I want to make it as brief as possible, as short as possible, and I hope this end up in a productive class for every one of us. And once again, I'm going to say that happy Easter to everybody, to my Christians friends, and if you are a Muslim too, happy Easter to you anyway. So let's just go. We are all together, like we are all one. So let's just go straight to the main topic of today, right? So okay, I think I've shared my screen already. So let me just try going back to So the controllers of the screen, they have started again. Okay, now knowing how to read a candlestick correctly, pay attention again. Knowing how to read a candlestick correctly, this our call is specifically on candles, right? I'm going to show you guys 3 major candles that are very, very powerful. They are very, very powerful. They are very, very strong. So I'm going to show you guys 3 major candles that are very, very powerful and they are very, very strong. And if you add them as confluence to your trading, depending on the type of strategy that you trade, it doesn't matter. It's still going to help you in one way or the other, right? So knowing how to read candlesticks correctly will help you to, 1, understand the market. 2, it will help you to take.
I don't even know. It was when they asked name of president and asked, so he showed the guy when he used to call it next year, but he loved him a lot. Yes.
Please mute yourself. Mute yourself. Right. Okay, let me come again, guys. So let me come again. So I said we are going to be talking about candlesticks, right? Now I'm going to tell you guys 3 powerful major candlesticks, right, that can actually impact your trading. Depending on the type of strategy you trade, it doesn't matter. Knowing them alone has an impact to you understand, and also your trading. So now, knowing how to read candlesticks correctly will help you to do these major things. 1, it will help you to understand the market. 2, it will help you to take more accurate trades. 3, it will help you to easily avoid many losses. 4, it will help you to stay on the right side of the market. What did I say? 1, it will help you to understand the market. 2, it will help you to take more accurate trades. 3, it will help you to easily avoid many losses. 4, it will help you to stay on the right part of the market. Right? So now we go further to say that every candlestick you see tells a story. Every candlestick you see tells a story. Every candlestick you see on your chart tells you about the market psychology. It tells you why the market is actually acting this way and why the market is actually reacting this way. You get? Now we have 3 major types of candle. We have the strength candle, we have the control shift candle, then we have the indecision candle. So for now, we are going to be starting with the strength candle, right? Then we go further to say that. So for now, we are going to be starting with the strength candle. Now, the strength candle is a candle that actually has what? A high buying or selling momentum. That is a high buying or selling movement in the market. Now, this candlestick can be identified either the candlestick is a bullish candle or a bearish candle. It can be identified with its large candlestick body. You understand? And what? And a 2 wick above. A large body. Now, the large body of that candle is the main focus. Please and please, when you join the call, mute yourself, please. I don't want to remove anybody. Just mute your call so that other people can hear, please and please. So, for you to identify this candlestick, you can identify it by its large body. Then it has an opening and a closing price. Now, it has an equal wick above. You understand? But the main focus is the body of the candle, how large it is. I believe that many of us have seen candles like this in the market, right? Now, these candlesticks actually shows us a result of what? It shows us a result of strong buying. You understand? And it actually indicates to us that buyers are in control of the market at the moment, or buyers are in control of price. You understand? Or buyers took over control of price. Most especially, we used to see most of these candlesticks sometimes happen in a bearish trend where you're actually expecting the market to still come down. You might just see this massive bullish candle taking over and closing above a very, very massive candle. That is a strength candle. That one aside. So I said it can either be a bullish or a bearish candle. You understand? The main thing is the wide body of the candle is what identify it as a strength candle for us, right? Now we now have what? We now have for this bearish, it just signify a strong selling, right? It's just simple. So now we now have another type of strength candle. You understand? Now we now have another what? We now have another type of strength candle, right? Now the major thing you need to know, let me come again, that's a strength candle shows you clear control from either buyers or sellers in the market. Now their large body with a small or no wick shows you uninterrupted buying or selling pressure. You understand? Now the small wick, the large body with a small or no wick. You understand? I'm trying to tell you that we have strength candle that has what? A large body with a small wick. We now have a strength candle that has a large body with no wick. You understand? Either of the two tells you that, shows you what? It tells you that there is an uninterrupted buying or selling pressure. You understand? If it is a bearish candle, it's telling you that there is no interrupted buying pressure in it. If it is what? A bullish candle, it is telling you that there is no interrupted selling pressure in that candle, which actually gives us more insight to where the market might likely move to. And most times when you see a strength candle, there is most higher chances that market might likely continue that way. What did I say? Most times when you see a strength candle in a market, there is high chances that market can likely continue in that way. You understand? Now in a situation whereby you see what? You see a strength candle that has no bullish, if you see a strength candle that has a flat top, you understand, and a bearish candle that has a flat bottom. Now get it right. A bullish candle that has a flat top and a bearish candle that has a flat bottom. It is telling us that there has not been any interruption from buyers or sellers, which means buyers did not make any attempt to push price below or to push price above. Do you understand? Now for bullish, it means that sellers have not made any attempt to push price below. While for bearish candle, it means that buyers have not made any attempt to push price above. I don't know if I'm making any sense, right? Now we now went further. We have different type of strength candle. You understand? Now there are some strength candle. These are just the major two: the one with the wick, the one without the wick. But we now have strength candle that they have this flat top. But you will notice that their body size are not always big. They have like range. Some of them are very, very small. Some of them are medium shape. You understand? Now you need to understand one thing: the body of the candle matters too. So even if you see a candle with flat top, but the candle is small, but like let's say the candle is somewhere around here. Let's say the candle is somewhere around here. Am I making sense? But the up is flat. and it closes like as a bullish candle, it doesn't mean, you can still call it a strength candle, but it is a weak strength candle, because the body matters. The body is what makes us consider that this candlestick has much strength. And once market is printing a candle like that, there is high chances that market will continue in that direction. Yes, definitely we know that there will be pullback. You get me? There are going to be pullback, but there is high chances that the market will continue in that direction. Now, there are two major things we consider, you understand, or there are two major things that makes us like that, or let me just put it this way, there are two major importance these candlesticks, this strength candlestick can tell us, two major message it can pass to us. One, it helps us to consider if we can actually look for opportunity and move with the strength. You understand? And the knowledge we have of just identifying this strength candle also helps us to also know if we can actually do what, if we should avoid that particular, it's either we can move with the strength or we should avoid the strength. Do you understand? Now, when you notice that a candle like this might likely push price up, you understand, and you know that you don't want to follow the trend, like you don't want to follow the movement of that candle, but because you are aware, you have knowledge that candles like this have high impact in the market, you might want to avoid it. Do you understand? You might want to avoid it and wait for the market to move correctly or move normally before you decide to maybe take any other step again. Do you understand? So having knowledge about something, it helps you even if you don't want to use it. At least you are aware of it. And when you see it in the market, it doesn't come as a surprise to you because you already have knowledge about it. Right? So now we go further to say that after a strength candle print, you can assume that there will be continued upside, which I actually mentioned. After a strength candlestick print, we might consider that there will be continued either upside or downside, depending of if the candlestick is what, bullish or bearish. Which means if we see a strength candle that has a flat bottom without no interruption from either buyers or sellers, there is high chances that the market might continue in that direction. There will be pullback, definitely. There might be pullback. You understand? Obviously, right? But it doesn't mean that pullback is just another opportunity for you now that missed the movement of that particular candle to continue in that particular movement, right? Now let me break down something for you again. Now you can see over here, you can see a strength candle, the movement to the upside. Now you can see the pullback, right? The pullback, 1 2 3 candle. Then we see another strength candle above, right? Now we see more strength candle printing. You get, this is a perfect example. There will be pullback. Do you understand? This is a pullback, this is a pullback. Now this is the movement. This is an engulfing candlestick. You understand? That confirmed a break of structure for us. This is like the current high that price has created. Now we can see that move to the upside. You understand? We can see that move to the upside. When you join the call, mute yourself, please. Mute yourself. Now, you can see that move to the upside with this body break, confirming to us that market has actually taken out this high. You understand? And market has given us another new low. And market has taken out this high. Now, you knowing anything about this candlestick doesn't mean you shouldn't have knowledge about market structure. That is the difference between most beginners go to always study, you want to study new strategy, you want to understand this new strategy, you want to do that one, you want to do that one, without even having a proper understanding of what market structure is. As a beginner, you should perfect yourself and understand what market structure is so that when you see break of structure, you can identify it. When you see change of character, you can be able to identify it. Now, those are the main core of every strategy you want to trade. Do you understand? So those are the main core of every strategy you want to trade. You want to go and identify, you want to be able to identify the market trend. You want to be able to look, that is you identifying the main market structure. You want to see where the market is breaking this level, the market is breaking this other key level. That is what you want to see. Do you understand? Now from here, now we can see the market actually taking out this high and giving us more move to the upside, right? So now another type of strength candle again is where you see a candlestick engulfs 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. Now you see, now the total, this particular thing is telling us that the market has actually engulfed how many candlesticks? The total movement that buyers made 1, 2, 3, 4 candles. Just one single candle like took out all, made the whole move. And for instance, it might even like surprise you that this whole candlestick took like 1 day to print, like a whole 1 day to print, or let's say it took from 8 o'clock to like 4 p.m. to print. But just this particular 1 hour candlestick has engulfed everything together. What does it tell you? What does this particular thing tells you? It tells you that there is high momentum of what? There's high interference of sellers in the market. They've taken out all the buy movement that was previously made. Do you understand? So that is another type of strength candle. All these strength candles that you see them, they most likely engulf this whole candlestick and breaking with the body of the candlestick. Now all you just have to do is you just have to wait for the retracement, then further look for another trading opportunity to move exactly with the trend. You understand? So we go further to the next part. Now we are going to be talking about the control shift candlestick, right? Now it is very, very simple. Here, I actually made this copy so that even when you are not actually getting what I'm saying, you can be able to see it here, right? You can be able to see it here and understand. It's very, very simple. The control shift candle shows us takeover in control or reversal happening in real time. So now this control shift candlestick shows us maybe takeover in control or any reversal. You can call it a reversal candlestick, right? Now if we go further, let me just quickly explain briefly to you guys, right? Now when you notice a candlestick that opens below in a bullish trend, the market the candlestick opens below, and we are actually expecting the market to close above, right? Just to keep the buy move in continuation, right? Now we can see the first attempt from buyers, the green attempt, the first attempt from buyers, right? Now you can now go further to see the second attempt from sellers. Now if we go back, this is where sellers started interfering, where I circled with the red. This is where sellers started interfering, right? Now over here, sellers took control of the market over here, right? Sellers first interfere, leaving a wick. You understand? Now while waiting for the market to still make it move, we can now see that sellers decide to reverse all the whole attempts buyers have made. They reversed it, and at the end of the day we had a close candlestick close below. You understand? Now you see this particular control shift candle, it is called what? It is called a bearish control shift candle. You understand? The color doesn't matter. What matters is the direction of the candle. The wick is what matters. The color doesn't matter to us. What matters is the wick. Do you understand? Now when we go further to say that this is okay, you see over here, this is where this is 3 types of candle. These are 3 types of candlestick, right? Let me try and move this. So these are 3 candlestick. You can see while looking at them, you can see that they are actually quite different, right? You can see this one, the body is a little bit bigger. This one, the body is small. This one, the body is a little bit bigger. It doesn't matter. What matters is 1, 2, and 3, the wick. The main thing that matters is the attempt of sellers to reverse the attempt of buyers down below and closing below this particular thing, leaving a wick above, a long wick above alone. That is what tells us the story. So what I'm saying is, the body doesn't matter. What matters is the wick. The wick is what tells us the story. Do you understand? So now when we go further, we can now see a scenario. You understand? Where we can see what? We can see a scenario of just a reverse scenario of the bullish candlestick that we have seen. Over here, we can see a large downside. You understand? Which is what tells us the story here, that sellers are actually losing control to buyers. You understand? This is a bearish candle that opens above and expected to close below. But when the sellers made an attempt to push price below, buyers interfered. Do you understand? Now, as buyers interfered, they push price to the upside, and at the end of the day, the candlestick end up closing like this. It tells us the story. It tells us a story that sellers made an attempt to push price below, but buyers interfered with a counter attempt to push price above. Now, and they succeeded in pushing price above. Now, the body of the candle end up closing above. It doesn't matter the color, whether it is black or white or green or red. What matters is the wick. The wick is what tells us the story. And the wick, as at now, has already tells us the story that sellers have actually interfered and they've pushed price. Sorry, buyers have interfered and they've pushed price above. Now, leaving us with what? A control shift candle. All right? So now when we go further, and this control shift candle, we can actually, a lot of us know them as pin bar. You understand? We know them as pin bar. So I just decided to make it very, very simple by calling it a control shift candle. You understand? They can be very, very strong when they actually use what in the right context, which means if you use them in the right context, they are very, very strong, and they can actually help you foresee the things you see in the market more clearly, right? Now, an example of what I'm saying is, you see, this is a bullish control shift candle, a bullish control shift candle, a bearish control shift candle, right? Now, you can see the main attempt. You can see the first attempt from buyers. Now, you can see the first attempt from buyers. Now, you can see sellers' interference to push price below. There is high chances that, most especially when you always see this pin bar candle, the next candlestick that you are going to see might likely, you understand, might likely, and it is always what? A bearish candlestick that we follow. Do you understand? Now, but for that particular control shift candle to be considered as a valid control shift candle, okay, now, okay, I think somebody is saying something. Let me just finish, my bro. Let me just finish. I'll attend to what you are saying. Now, for this control shift candle to be considered as a control shift candle, we need it to break structure. You understand? We need it to take out a current high. You understand? An internal structure. You understand? We have an external, we have an internal structure, right? Now, an external structure is when we are talking about our major supply and our major demand. Then our internal structure are there. You understand? So we needed to break either an internal structure, giving us a break of structure, taking out a low. You understand? Then we consider it as what? We consider it as what? We consider it as a valid control shift candle. You can see, for me, this is a current high that was taken out by this. You can still call it an engulf, because this particular candlestick engulfs what? It engulfs this 1 and 2 candlestick, right? Breaking them and closing with the body. Now we can see a further move to the upside, right? So that is the main essence of what? A control shift candle. Do you understand? Now, I heard somebody said that candlestick one is a doji candle. Now let me explain something to you. You understand? If you go to your chart, this strength candle that I'm talking about, you will see a lot of strength candle that has flat top. Why I just did this, every candlestick you see, right, most of them, they mean the same thing. Do you understand? So I just picked them out, you understand, to explain to you that if you go back, that particular candlestick you are calling a doji candle, it is still a control shift candle. When you look at it very well, you will understand. You get? But I'm still going further. I will explain to you. You get? But I don't think from what you are explaining that one is a doji candle, one is not a doji candle. This is a pin bar this is a pin bar, not a doji. Do you understand? But we'll still go further to explain better when we go to the next. I think the doji candle you are talking about is the indecision candle, not this pin bar. So when we go further, we now say that a control shift candle is the first indication that buyers or sellers are claiming control over the leading party in real time. Like I said, you can't just trade, like you can't just look at it that okay, the market has given me a control shift candle, a bullish, let's say the market has given me a bearish control shift candle, then immediately you just run and sell. Sorry, that is not what I'm telling you. That immediately you see a bearish control shift candle, you will not wait for any confirmation, you will just run and sell. The presence of that control shift candle is only telling you that they might likely be what it is used as a reversal signal. Like it gives you like a reversal signal that if you are in a bullish trend and you start seeing a control shift candle, you should automatically understand that this candlestick you should automatically understand that this candlestick is already telling you a story that sellers are beginning to claim control. Do you understand? That is what I mean. So now for you to now look for confirmation is when you now wait for the next candlestick to print. You are now waiting for the candlestick to break structure, confirming to you that what you are seeing is valid. Then you will now look for a better entry. I scale down to lower time frame, look for a better trading opportunity. Then you can now decide to sell or buy in reverse any type of control shift candlestick you see. Right now, we now go lastly to the last candle, which is what? We now go to the last candle, which is the indecision candlestick. You understand? We now go to the last candlestick, which is the indecision candlestick. Now, take this down. The indecision candlestick tells us that no one is in control of the market. It tells us that as of now, no one is in control, which means the amount of buying and selling is equal, or the amount of buying and selling is equally weighted. Do you understand? That is the amount. When I'm talking about weighted, I'm talking about the total value, the total amount of sellers and the total amount of buyers in the market. You understand? Mr. Sunday, can you just mute yourself, please? Can you mute yourself? Please, can you mute yourself? Can you mute yourself? Thank you. So it is telling us that the amount of sellers and the amount of buyers are equally weighted, which means that the total amount are gauged in, let me just say, I have 5 people. You have 5 people. Those my 5 people are sellers. Your own 5 people are buyers. When we come together, you understand, and we have the same amount of strength. If we are in a tug of war, when we are dragging ourselves, we tend to be in the same position. Even if there want to be a little difference, there will not be much difference because we have the same type of strength. As you are dragging me, I'm dragging you. So we are actually weighed in the same point. You understand? Now, for us to get an indecision candlestick is where you see market opens here. Then we first see an attempt of sellers pushing price below. Then buyers pushing price above. Then buyers coming to come back and close, the market coming to close here. Now leaving a 2 week together. Now those week don't matter. Some indecision candlestick, you might see that 1 week is a little bit looking as if it's longer than the other. What matters is the body. Their body are always close near to each other. Like they are near to each other. That is what tells you what that is. an indecision candlestick, right? It tells you that that is an indecision candlestick. Am I making any sense? So now we go further. These are forms of an indecision candlestick. This is just to show you guys a perfect example of what they might likely look like. Now over here you can see that this one now, the wick, this particular wick is longer than this now, right? But it doesn't matter. The wick here doesn't. What matters is the opening and closing body. They are near to each other. This one too is near to each other. This is near to each other, and this is near to each other. So anywhere you see these candlesticks, you know that this is what an indecision candlestick. Now, how you use those indecision candlesticks is, okay, pay attention to this. Now, since this candlestick tells us that there is no interference. Look, let me just break it down. Since this candlestick is not giving us the total confusion. Oh my god, this guy, should I mute everyone, because this thing is actually distracting me. Please, once you join the call, just try and mute yourself, please. Do you understand? Now, so what I'm trying to say is that an indecision candlestick is not directly tradable. Get me right? It is not directly tradable. You understand? It doesn't give us this indecision candlestick. It is not directly tradable because it doesn't give us a clear direction in the battle between the buying and the selling. Now, before we even start this whole thing, we should understand that the market is what? Is a battle between the buyers and what? The sellers, right? Now, this indecision candlestick cannot be directly. Please, my bro, can you mute yourself?
I think you can mute everybody.
Yeah, let me just try and mute everybody then. Now, this indecision candlestick, right? It is not, get it right, it is not directly traded. Like, it cannot be directly traded. Now, here are my reasons. Because it doesn't give us a clear direction of the market. It only tells us it's like full stop. You know what full stop is now? Once there is a full stop, there will be a continuation, right? So, but you can't, you just know a full stop as is once I'm writing. Let's take for instance, let me use a perfect example to explain this to you. Let's take for instance, I'm writing a poem, right? Tech Arena, you don't know the poem I'm actually writing. You don't know anything about the poem I'm writing. So immediately I'm writing it and I decide to put full stop there. What does it tell you? It tells you that this person is writing this particular thing. Then he had what? A full stop there. You get? Now you might have a clue about the poem I'm writing, but because you are not sure, you need me to write maybe something that will give you, like, after my full stop, you need me to write something that will tell you that, okay, this is the direction I'm trying to go, and this is the direction I'm not trying to go. You understand? So instead, we use this particular indecision candlestick. We use it to gauge reversal, and we use it to take trades from points where we actually find one party taking control of the market. Get it right. We only use this indecision candlestick to take trades where we actually find that one party is taking control. And who are those parties? Either the sellers or the buyers. Now, I've given you two scenarios here. Now, if you take a look, you can see two scenarios here. Now, scenario number one, what can you see? You can see after an indecision candlestick, we saw a break above, a candlestick break above, who tells us that buyers now made a move to take over the market. Now, this particular indecision candlestick tells us, is telling us that the market is on full stop now. The amount of sellers and the amount of buyers here are equal. So they've actually put this market in a stable form. You understand? without a decision to either buy or sell. So the market is stagnant at that point. So but because of the bullish candlestick that made a move to the upside, and that candlestick is not just a bullish candlestick, it shows to be like a little strength candlestick. You understand? It is actually telling us that the market has done what? The market has made, like, buyers have actually taken over the market. Do you understand? So now all we just have to do is we just have to wait for a little pullback back into that zone where that particular control shift candlestick is. Then we wait for the market to take out liquidity. Then after the market take out liquidity, you can see the first movement. A lot of traders might just look at this particular place as, so a lot of traders might just look at this particular place as, okay, market is already coming back, let me just sell. And over here it might take out a lot of sellers. You understand? Those that are intending to buy, the market might take their stop loss out here. Then we saw a move to the downside, then we saw the continuation. You understand? The two you can see now two double bottom pattern, right? Now two double top pattern, we can see it here. Now the market made a move. The same thing happened in this place also. So now this is it. We go further. So I think this is the last part of everything. So I'll go further on my chart to show us an example of what I'm actually still talking about. Then I'll just unmute you guys to ask your questions. So if you take a look over here, this is what? This is an indecision candlestick. Am I correct? This is an indecision candlestick. So if you see, most likely those particular indecision candlestick over here, you can see because of how important it is, it can also be used as a resistance over here. You see, you can still mark that place as a resistance, right? Because an indecision candlestick is there. Now you can see immediately after that indecision candlestick, you can see the first candlestick that prints was a red candle, right? You can see the move. We can now see interference. You can see interference. So this is what? An indecision candlestick. Perfect example of an indecision candlestick. This is a control shift candle. This is a control shift candlestick, which is telling us that buyers intend to interfere. You understand? This is what? An indecision candlestick. But this is a bullish indecision candlestick, right? So if we go further, we can see a strength candle. We can see a strength candle. Over here, you can see another strength candle. Can you see? This is another strength candle with no wick. Can you see it? This is another strength candle, a bullish strength candle with no wick. And you can see that immediately that strength candle prints, the market had to continue in that direction. There was pullback. Look at the pullbacks here. You can see the pullback. They were actually pullback, but there was high chances that the market will still continue in that direction. You get? So if you go further, if you look at your chart, you can still be able to find all these candlesticks I'm actually talking about. You can see over here, we can see another massive strength candle. Immediately the candlestick opens. Buyers, let me try and delete all this. You can see immediately the market opens. You understand? Now you can see the movement. Let's say you catch this trade from here, from this particular point. The market moved. We saw this retracement, which created this low. We saw a move. As a result of this move, it created this current high, right? Now, from this particular point, many of us might still be expecting that the market will take out this high. I'm coming. Let me pick this arrow so that I can use it to demonstrate better. So many of us might be expecting that market will now come and take out this high. Immediately market will take out this high. As soon as market take out this high, most of these support and resistance trader, immediately market take out this high. Since market has actually given this week, so the next candlestick that is forming might be targeting this other high. You understand? I'm expecting this candlestick to target this other high, this other high, and take out this high. Maybe we'll see market continue to move forward. You understand? Then immediately you saw this, you will just see this trend candle. Now you see this trend candle, it had no interference. Like buyers didn't even make any move, any attempt to even take. Now mind you, you know that anywhere this particular candle, this green candle, anywhere it closes, that's where the second candle will open. But you can see that buyers didn't make any attempt to even push price above. Immediately that strength candle just came down massive, very, very massive and strong. You can see very, very massive and strong. Now when the candlestick made that move, you can see we now see what? A control shift. We now see a massive interference, right, from buyers. Buyers now decide to push this above, and it didn't close anywhere above. It closes here as a strength candle. We now saw another attempt again of market pushing this below again, and what? Buyers still interfered. We saw another move, buyers interfered. Then we saw what? We saw another bearish indecision candlestick, right? We saw a bearish control shift. We saw a bearish control shift candle, right? Which actually the impact of this bearish control shift candle gave us this other candle, gives us this other bearish candle. We can see all the attempts of sellers pushing price below, sellers still pushing price below. Then we saw another strength candle. This is the pullback of that strength candle. Then we saw another attempt again of sellers, of buyers to push price above. Sellers still brought it down. We saw another attempt again. You understand? Now we went further. Now immediately market now pushes. You see this particular indecision candle. You understand? You see this particular indecision candle. Can you see it? You see the way price immediately market closes. The next candlestick that formed was a strength candle, which actually broke this structure, broke this internal structure, and immediately we can see two strength candles printing. Right now, the moment we see an indecision there, the market turned a new leaf. You understand? Immediately after that strength candle, we saw the pullback here. Then the market continued in that direction. So all you just have to do now is, depending on the type of strategy you trade, all you just have to do is pick everything I've said. You understand? Pick everything I've said. Go back to whatsoever system you trade. Try to backtest with it. You understand? Add it as confluence to your trading. Since you know every story that this particular candlestick is telling us, try adding it to your trading, and try adding it to whatsoever you are doing. Because me, I've tried to add it to my own strategy and it is working for me. So try adding it to your own. You don't have to trade what I'm trading. Do you understand? You can still trade what you are trading. The main thing you need to understand is, the moment you stop running from one strategy to another, the better for you. Because the more you keep running from one place to another without looking for what works for you in that your style of trading, it becomes a problem for you. So think well and come up with a better approach on how you can actually add this as confluence to your trading. And at the end of the day, if you feel like you don't need it, you can still avoid it. You understand? But I just believe every candlestick tells you a story. You understand? It tells you the psychological story, the psychological story behind the charts. You understand? So that is what I will end this with right now. So all your questions can come in, and please, let's make this very, very brief and simple. No multiple questions. Just pick one or two questions and ask. Let's just get this very, very clearly. When you ask your question, chill out for other people to ask their own too. You understand? So that we can just properly drive this and move further. So that's it.
Yeah, okay. Thank you very much for taking us through this. And I just want to know, is it possible for us to maybe have this on a live in a live market? It doesn't have to be a trade that we're going to take or trade, but I mean, like in a live market, it might be yeah, we can just have a feel of it. I don't know if it's something that is possible.
Yeah, see,
Thank you.
the thing is, that's why back testing is there. You understand? You need to go when you're actually studying yourself. See, you need to figure it out. Mine is to teach. You understand? You have to go and figure it out yourself. If it will work or not. You understand what I'm saying, right? So that's why back testing is there for you. I don't know. You guys should mute yourself now. Mute yourself, please.
Good evening, sir.
Okay, Tech Arena, can you hear me? So the thing is, you need to go and back test it yourself. You understand? It's not like we cannot have it in a live market. You understand? But I'm very sure that nobody will have that time to come and be. You understand? Like once the week open now, I might be busy. I'm very, very sure even my students, Sammy will be very, very busy. You understand? I might be busy trading and also looking for a way to drop signals for you guys also. Do you get? And also looking for a better opportunity in the market. So that's the main reason why I'm actually teaching it here. You understand? So you just go and back test it. Just get everything I've said. Don't worry, I'll send the recordings. I've actually done recordings of the call. So I'll send